So I walked down Walnut Lane to the avenue of walnut trees which were planted in the 1700s and gather up the walnuts, which are normally green, and some of them have already gone quite dark and decomposed, and you have to hunt for them. I let them decompose till they go quite dark. They start to get some sort of mould on them and they start to break open. And actually the ink starts to seep out of the walnut. So then I have the ritual of breaking all the walnuts up, and then I put them in the pan with some water and I let them cook for 3-4 hours, and I might do that process 2 or 3 times. And then I put a little bit of gum arabic in as a binder at the end. And I put the ink in my tiny little pots that I love. Most importantly, I put a clove in each little pot of ink because it stops it from going mouldy. I've got various vintages of inks going back now for the last 5 years, and they're all slightly different. So I'm learning different things every time I do the ink. But you know, at that time at the end of October with the trees, it's the end of autumn, it's the beginning of winter. So I think making the ink also really represents for me that change of seasons, and that I'm going into something else, and I always feel there's a new iteration with my work, with the new lot of ink that I've made at that time. And I'm really interested in pattern, thinking about how your eye follows the pattern on a piece of paper or on a piece of fabric, and how my eye follows the pattern when I'm out walking in the fields. Because every day I do the same walk, it's a meditation, and I gather, whether it's thistles or sticks or cones, anything I find in the woods where I go that I think would be good for making marks with the ink, to reflect what I'm seeing. So I work with very restricted materials, this lovely Japanese linen and a beautiful sort of silk tissue paper and a handmade paper, combining them in different ways. With sewing, I work with a natural thread which I dye with the walnut ink, and then I might work at different strengths of thread, so it might be a single thread or it might be 3 threads or 4, and that's very much part of the pattern. So I guess through that pattern I'm really mapping my own landscape here in Dorset.